Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix's Remarkably Bright Creatures. What if a Pacific octopus held the key to a mystery that could heal your heart? Well, that's Tova's reality. An elderly widow working at an aquarium. Tova forms an unlikely friendship with the curmudgeonly Marcellus, whose remarkable intelligence leads her to a life-changing discovery. Watch Remarkably Bright Creatures with your remarkable moms this Mother's Day weekend, only on Netflix May 8th.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, hi.
Before we get started with today's episode, which we're very excited about, special guest Hrishikesh Hirway, we're talking about the part 1 of the 2-part season 2 finale, Emotions a Go-Go. But first, other emotions. Excitement. We are thrilled to tell you today that coming this fall, wow.
In a world where they've been podcasting for 10 years.
Exactly. We are celebrating 10 years of Buffering the Vampire Slayer this fall, and we are doing it the only way we know how. 2 nights in Brooklyn, New York at Littlefield. The first night will be a very special live episode taping, and the second night will be our very first Buffering the Vampire Slayer homecoming dance.
Hell yes. October 16th and 17th at Littlefield in Brooklyn. We will do the first ever homecoming dance that you've ever been to. Please bring your spatulas, wear your greens and your reds, and join us. If you've been to a prom, you have an idea of what the vibe is going to be. 90s music. Jenny's going to be playing songs live. We're going to dance. We're going to have a great time. And as chance would have it, we will be recording Homecoming on Friday, October 16th. We have special guests, and it's going to be the best. It's going to be the best. We cannot wait to celebrate 10 years of podcasting with you all.
Buffering patrons, as always, will receive first dibs on tickets. Tickets will be released to patrons via a private link tomorrow, Thursday, May 7th at 10 a.m.
Eastern.
So keep an eye on your Patreon feed.
And the following day, Friday, May 8th, also at 10 a.m. Eastern, tickets will go on sale to the public. You will be able to buy tickets for either night or both, though the bundled tickets are in very limited supply. Join us. Bufferingcast.com/live or on Littlefield's homepage.
I already can't wait. What a time we're going to have.
Will I get Jenny in the sateen green dress? TBD.
Dress?
Sateen. If anyone out there wants to make us custom sateen green and red suits, we would love it.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. I was just going to dress as a spatula, but I think this is a better idea.
There's 2 nights, Jenny. We can be spatulas the other night. Yeah.
Incredible. So think about what you're going to wear. And in the meantime, while you wait for tickets to become publicly available, you can listen to this beautiful episode with dear friend of the pod, Hrishikesh Hirway. Here we go.
It's a big rock. I can't wait to tell my friends. They don't have a rock this big.
Spike boy, you never did learn your history.
Let's have a lesson then.
Kathla the demon came forth to swallow the world. He was killed by a virtuous knight who pierced the demon's heart before he could draw breath to perform the act. Kathla turned to stone, as demons sometimes do, and was buried where neither man nor demon would want to look. Unless, of course, they're putting up low-rent housing. Boys?
He fills my head. I can't hear anything else.
Let me guess. Someone pulls out the sword,
Someone worthy.
the demon wakes up, and wackiness ensues.
He will swallow the world.
And every creature living on this planet will go to hell. My friends, we're about to make history. And
Hello, and welcome back to Buffering the Vampire Slayer, once more with spoilers, a podcast where we're watching and discussing each and every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, one at a time, for the second time, this time with spoilers. This isn't an orgy, people, it's a podcast. I'm Jenny Owen Youngs.
Hi. And hey, you'll find that with the exception of an honest day's work, there's no challenge I'm not prepared to face. I'm Kristin Russo, and today we are discussing Holy Shit, Season 2, Episode 21, the first part of Becoming.
Becoming Part 1 was written and directed by Joss Whedon and originally aired on May 12, 1998.
And hey, before I tell you which one this is, I should tell you who is here, or perhaps, Jenny, you should tell us who's here.
Wow.
Because you've done a lot of duetting in many forms with this human being.
We really have. We've yapped, we've sung, we've guitared. There's even a photo of us wearing suits at a grand piano together.
Wow.
I mean, it's my friend and yours, America's sweetheart, the man with the voice. It's Hrishikesh Hirway. Hi, Rishi.
Hi, Rishi.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I apologize that I've insisted on doing this in character. As you can hear, I have my Irish accent, my old-timey Irish accent on, and I'll be doing this accent for the entire episode. I'm so sorry. I know it might be a little confusing because it sounds so different from the way that I normally speak, but I was born in the 18th century in Galway, and this is my voice. Deal with it.
I honestly feel like I am in Ireland right now.
Yeah. And what century, you know, who knows? Not only in another place, another time.
Another time, transported. Wow. So happy to have you here. And I was just reflecting on, there's a couple of folks in our lives who we know exactly how long we've been friends with because you came into the pod at the beginning and we're about to hit 10 years. So somehow, even though it makes no mathematical sense, we have been in each other's lives for nearly a decade.
It doesn't make mathematical sense because I would have sworn it was twice as long at least.
Yeah. Twice as long, but also half as long in terms of how much we've not aged, you know?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, somehow we're getting younger and hotter.
All right. So Rishi, this run, Jenny writes little summaries of the episodes for us to use. And so this is the one, according to Jenny Owen Youngs, you've heard of her, where OMG, 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 Buffy reaches clarity that Angelus must die. But then things are complicated by the discovery of Chekhov's floppy disk containing Jenny Calendar's spell for re-ensoulment. All of those were capitalized words in case you didn't get that from my reading. What is a Slayer to do? Also, a big honking demon tomb has been excavated and Angelus plans to use it to suck the world into hell. The only upside to this being, it would make finals obsolete, I guess. Kendra is back, yay, and Kendra gives Buffy Mr. Pointy. Aw, but then Kendra is killed by Drew. No. And the Sunnydale PD's number one suspect seems to be Buffy. Oh, and we get a quick 200-year overview of Boreanaz being bad, also all capitalized, and looking good, also both capitalized, including his siring by Darla. I am dead, and his meet cute with Drusilla. Jenny, I have a note that is just Darla's boobs at one point in my journey, so I'm with you on I Am Dead.
Wow. I mean, a note worth taking. I want you to know that while I was watching, my Google history went something like gentleman's clothing, Galway, 1753. Gentleman's clothing, Romanian woods, 1898, etc. I want you to know that I was doing an active fit check because I was like, are these clothes changing enough? And with the exception of the lack of a top hat in London at church, it looked pretty accurate, surprisingly.
Is this what inspired you to pitch us wearing formal wear for our next promo?
No.
Okay.
Ma'am, no.
Separate. Okay. All right. Warn us, Jenny. Warn us about the
Okay. Before we dive, let me remind you that into every generation a spoiler warning is born. We alone wield the strength and skill to discuss things from any of the following sources: all 7 seasons of Buffy, all 5 seasons of Angel, all the canonical Dark Horse comics, and anything that exists inside of the Buffyverse and anything that may be announced or released as we go. If you're watching the show for the first time and you're not ready to be spoiled, you can listen to our spoiler-free coverage of this episode, which originally aired on June 28th, 2017. Okay.
Wow. One other very special thing. So, you know that normally we play the episodic song from our original run at the end of the episode, but because it's in 2 parts, was actually, I think... Was What's My Line also one song, Jenny? Or is this the first time that a 2-parter gets one singular song?
What's My Line was originally distributed in 2 segments, 2 halves of the same song, to be continued style, later joined for the album release.
The album. Cool. Well, since we only have one Becoming and we have 2 episodes, and we happen to have Hrishikesh Hirway here with us, who just released an album. We are going to, and I'm going to let Jenny and Rishi sort of talk about the song we're going to put at the end of this episode, but it's a song written by both of them. It's on Rishi's new album. You're going to get to hear it, and then you're going to get to hear them both talk about the writing of it. Rishi, do you want to talk for a second about the album that you just released and tell folks here who might have missed it, even though I think it was in the New York Times? I don't know. It's like a small publication, but...
It's simply everywhere.
Yeah.
Man about globe.
First of all, thank you both so much for having me back. I really appreciate any invitation to come talk to you two about literally anything, but about Buffy especially. The album, thank you so much for mentioning it. It came out on April 24th. It's called In the Last Hour of Light. And it's a big one for me because it's the first full-length album I've put out in 15 years. And
Wild.
I would not have gotten there if it were not for our Saint Jenny Owen Youngs. And there are a few songs on this album that we wrote together. And one of them is a song called When I Look at You. And that's the song that we're going to listen to later because it feels incredibly appropriate, though it was not written with this episode or these characters in mind specifically, probably generally just because they swim in the DNA of Jenny Owen Youngs all the time. It's a song that we wrote together along with our friend John Mark Nelson, who everybody knows.
Of course.
And the 3 of us were in Kittery, Maine, and spent a really lovely week together working on music. And this is one of the things that came out of that.
So exciting.
I'll just add, going sort of backwards, that the Airbnb that you guys stayed in, just in this past week, someone drove their car into the corner of it.
Oh, no. In the yard, not the house itself, right?
No, into the house.
What?
Oh,
yeah.
no.
So the corner of that house is currently boarded up. I'm sure they're going to fix it up so you can come back really soon.
Oh, man.
And the really important thing that you left out that I'm going to include is that Rishi's new album, In the Last Hour of Light, is so beautiful, and it is made up of some really gorgeous, stunning songs treated with glorious arrangement and production and performed by some really incredibly gifted musicians, not the least of which, of course, is Rishi yourself. What a beautiful, amazing, honeyed, crystalline,
Wow.
gorgeous. You know, it really is like, it is like a real sonic golden hour. Everyone should listen to it. If you haven't already, you should listen to it many, many, many times because, you know, streaming rates are quite low. So the more you listen, the happier we are. And it's very beautiful. And I'm so happy to be a small part of it and so happy that you're here with us, in spite of the fact that if I were you, I would just be lazing about, you know, really, I am a parent and the word is gone. What's that word where you're like
Absorbing.
wallowing but positive?
Basking?
You know?
Basking.
Basking. If I were you, I would just be basking in the glow of my accomplishment and artistic triumph.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like something you would do, Jenny.
Yeah, I'm always doing that.
I have not yet listened to this album, Rishi, and I cannot wait to, especially with Jenny's glowing review. But I already knew it was going to be that good because
Well,
you're
so
you
beautiful.
and you rule. So where else could we go but to 1753 Galway, I guess, from that?
For real. When you started watching this show, both of you, did you ever really expect to see tricorner hats on your screen?
I always get really excited about a flashback. But sorry, Rishi, you were going to answer that question, weren't you?
No, I mean, well, you know, when you sign up for anything involving vampires, anything where you know that immortality is part of the story, you have to be open to the idea that a tri-cornered hat may show up.
It's true.
Okay.
Latoya had a note in her production notes that I thought was astute, surprising everyone because Latoya, you know, classically never astute. But she said, this is Darla's first appearance since her death in the episode Angel. And Latoya says, obviously that's true, but it also marks the beginning of the show really embracing how important that Angel backstory and the whole vamp backstory is to its DNA, and then Angel, the series DNA. That wasn't really the case before, especially considering how easily Darla was killed off and how she was mostly seen as just the Master's lapdog in season 1. So from this point on, flashbacks in the Buffyverse are such a key and pretty great part of the whole piece. So yeah. When Darla was killed off in Angel, I was like, I'm sorry, what? That's not even possible. Darla is like a heart piece of this show.
Did you ever think when you were turning on something and you saw the title card 1753 Galway that you would encounter something as immortal, almost as immortal as the tricornered hat, a modern American accent? An accent yet to be invented.
Oh, yeah, yet to exist.
Listen. Semi-related question. Did you expect anyone to use the phrase cash money? Which I just Googled, when did the phrase cash money originate? And allegedly sometime in the late 1800s, which is way closer than I thought we were going to get to Galway 1753.
I mean, it's possible they just didn't have this on record, you know? So this could have been the first use, then sort of used unrecorded until that late 18th century.
I had a friend in college who used to call me Cash Money.
Wow.
As a variation on, he's like, everybody calls you Rishi instead of Hrishikesh. What if I build off of the end of it instead? Hrishikesh money, cash money. And I would just be walking across the quad sometimes and hear a voice in the distance yell, cash money.
That's the most like college infused vibe of all time. Would you talk to me for a moment, both of you, about Liam? Because I feel like in our first run, Jenny, we didn't like reflect on Liam a ton, and we've been sort of like poking at that. Like, is he an ass? I mean, he is an asshole, but I was thinking about him a lot in the context of the fact that he's 17, 18? How old is Liam?
He's somewhere between 17 and 22 here, right?
Yeah. So he's young and he's rich, as noted by the brocade that he's wearing as he's like tossed out of this bar. And he hates his dad because his dad hates him. And I don't know. I just was thinking a lot about Liam as a dude, separate from Angel and separate from Angelus, and wondering, you know, especially because of the way that he interacts with Darla as she's about to sire him. Like he's like being cocky and he's like sort of strutting and all of that stuff. But I felt like there was like a vulnerability to the I haven't seen any part of the world. And like I just felt like there was something there that I hadn't paid attention to before.
How many times he blinks when he says, I've never been anywhere myself? You know?
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit older, though, because I did look this up.
Oh, good.
Stop writing your emails.
He was born in 1727, so that makes him 26 or so around at this time.
Oh, okay. I mean, that changes things a bit because I was definitely
26 in 1753 is, what do we think, like 45, 50 in 2026?
The end of his life. Actually.
Yeah, I think it gives context to the blinking. Because he's like, I'm already 26. I've already reached the decrepit age of 26, yet have been nowhere. Again, pardon my old-timey Irish accent.
It's okay. Anything I don't understand, I'm just sort of like putting a pin in for later.
Yeah. He's like, I was a wee lad for so long here. Now, me age is 26. Anyway.
Me age.
Diddly
Sorry. I almost slipped into my Kendra accent.
Oh, we'll let Buffy do that later to everyone's delight. Sarcasm hopefully heard by all of you listening to the podcast. Cool.
I do have to say, for what we understand to be a sort of like drunken, loudish layabout, Liam is looking good. I just want to like run down this particular fit check really quickly. He's got a ponytail tied in a ribbon. Okay. We should all be so lucky. He's got a brocaded vest. He's got the puffiest sleeves I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. He's got capri pants and knee socks. What a combo. And I'm pretty sure he's got little like Benjamin Franklin loafers on, like little pilgrim shoes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, he is basically one overcoat away from what you wore to your own wedding.
This is what I'm talking about. Hell yeah.
Did you wear knee socks and capri pants? Because that's
no. I wore pants.
Okay. I've definitely seen you in capri pant knee sock situations, though.
Listen. Capri pants to the side. I noticed something in this interaction with Darla that I've never noticed before. And that is that Darla has a tight ribbon tied around her throat that is, unless my eyes deceive me, distinctly a light green.
Wow.
Rishi, do you know what it means when a woman has a green ribbon tied around her throat?
I definitely don't.
It means that no matter what you do, even if you are her husband, she has told you many times you must never untie the green ribbon around her neck. Because at the end of the story, when your curiosity gets the best of you and you do it, her fucking head falls off and rolls across the floor. And also that woman's name, canonically, Jenny.
It's Jenny. It's true.
I will never stop making this PSA. Leave green ribbons tied around women's throats alone, including Darla's. Luckily, she has other more distracting sections of her body very nearby, so it's not even an issue here.
Oh, their ribbons, their choice, you know?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We should probably put a fine point on Darla saying, close your eyes.
Yep. Just drop that pin right there. We'll pick it up. Next step.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would hope that if I died more than one time, that each time I would hear the same thing, you know, in a different context. It's fun.
Yes. Great. Sorry, for some reason I thought you were going to say, if I died for more than one time, I would want the second time to be in Darla's boobs, which doesn't even make sense with what's going on, but I guess it just makes sense with what
That's the first time.
Having a hard time not thinking about. I know.
Darla's boobs get more intense every time I watch this episode.
They're a lot. Rishi, your thoughts?
Well, just to jump ahead to the actual siring moment, my notes, I wrote, motorboating, more like motorbiting.
Wow. And there he is. There he is, folks. Welcome to the pod.
Fame hasn't changed him. Do we think, based on how Angel is just sort of still, like he's very still in all of this, like once he's bitten and then once he is guided to feed, do we feel like maybe there's some kind of like special anesthetic or like hypnotic venom or something in vampire saliva? And if not, shouldn't there be?
I actually, because I was going so deep on my who is Liam beat, was like, is this also something of note? Because we see plenty of people get bit by vampires and they're not just like quiet. And I was very intrigued by the fact that he kind of just gave in to it, like before the siring and what have you. Like as Darla bites him, he's just like, okay. And, as I'm making space for this pretty much asshole, now I know 26-year-old, I was like, well, what's going on? Like, does he even want to be alive? Like, what's happening for him here? As I like the numbing agent idea because it makes me have to think about feelings less. But I just thought maybe he didn't care.
That's how I took it. Was that he was kind of, he wasn't protesting.
Mm.
Yeah, he was just ready to see something else, anything else.
Yeah.
Wow. And I don't know if he can see because now we cut to the Sunnydale Cemetery where the eyeliner is so thick that
It's here.
I don't even know if you can call it eyeliner anymore.
It has transcended. It has become.
Yeah, that's actually what becomes in this 2-part finale.
I love when you're trying to send a message to someone via a third party, but then you have to kill them instead. This always works for me.
What is he even doing? Do we care? Probably not. But like, what is this vamp even doing? Like hiding in the bushes, having the other vampires, like hench vamps, as Latoya noted they're referred to in the script, just like taunt her.
I'd like to see, and I bet somebody has it out there, I'd like to see the data, the ratio of like time Boreanaz is on screen in this episode to time he is sort of like sneering, leering, smirking at the camera. Like he's doing like that one face. And like in this scene, he does a little twirl right away, even.
This
he like jazzes it up.
This is also the scene where I sent Jenny 2 screen caps of 2 different closed captions, both for Angel that were heh heh heh.
I think the two of you are a bad influence on me.
Go on.
Love that.
In terms of innuendo. I think the Sexual Tension Awards has really like done a number to my brain.
Yes.
Because as soon as it's time to watch Buffy, I make notes like this. Are you really that anxious to come up against him? And I wrote, I think that's exactly what she's anxious for.
Wow. Rishi, never.
Yes, Rishi! Yes.
So happy to drag you to the sexual tension dark side.
Incredible.
I was like, that's a specific word choice, right? They meant that.
Yeah.
They did. Okay. We get the injustice of Buffy having to study for finals at a time like this. I feel like Slayer exemption is long overdue. We go to the credits and then, wow, look at this big stony rectangle. Look at this thing and then look at the doors in this room at the museum because they are approximately 1 foot narrower than Acothala's tomb. And I'm just wondering, how did they do it? How'd they get it in there?
Through a window.
Before Giles came in to be the ancient relics expert, they had a geometry expert come in and show them the exact angle they had to rotate it to. Yeah.
Also, the cable for the air compressor this woman is using to like blow dust off of the tomb just goes to the ceiling. It's like, how are we running our air compressor?
It's like
at the Sunnydale Museum.
You know how it was really fancy to have like your vacuum where you could like plug it into the wall at one point? It's like that, but for air compression.
In wood shops, they have those ceiling mounted vacuum thingies, but those are vacuums, not those.
But air going in one direction or the other, that works for me. A precedent has been set. That's fine.
The thing that I was so confused by when we first get into this scene is this man comes over and he says, concentrate in this area. And I'm like, oh, he's an archaeologist. He is an expert. This is his field. As soon as Giles comes in, the man transforms before our eyes and he's like, I don't know nothing.
Yeah, this is Doug Perrin's first day on the job as curator, for sure.
Yeah. He's like, I only feel authority when telling a woman what to do.
Oh, yeah, he just got here from Brooklyn. And
yeah, he's actually on the work exchange program with Willie of Willie's Bars fame.
Exactly. All right, so Doug gets the instruction to not open the thing. Because Doug, by the way, who now I agree knows nothing, is like, let's crack her open. It seems like a great idea.
Sir. But moments ago, he didn't even know there was a door.
Yeah, exactly. Not only do I know nothing about ancient relics, I don't know anything about life.
Never
something
heard
old
of
with
a
something
hinge.
inside it. Let's throw caution to the wind.
The sooner we get in there, the sooner we get to be surprised.
God. Also, shout out to Giles getting to do his favorite thing ever, take a tiny little scraping of an artifact into a tiny little jar.
This, I felt his motion was a little cavalier. This
Too
seems
much.
like a little too forceful too quickly. He had not yet even tested the resistance of the object of his scraping, and maybe like my only point of reference is Jurassic Park, but it has left a strong impression. Soft brushes only, please.
Yeah.
But he's just in there with like a scalpel or something.
Yeah, he doesn't know where it ranks on the Mohs scale of hardness.
What? On the what?
The Mohs, right? Mohs?
I'm sure it's right. I just don't
The
know what it
Mohs
is.
This doesn't sound like any of my business. The Mohs mineral hardness scale. Sure, totally. A thing I definitely knew about before right now.
I feel better not knowing if Jenny didn't know.
You know what I love about the Mohs scale? It's like Mohs' hardness in minerals, but it's spelled MOHS. If you rearrange the letters, you get ohms, the unit of resistance in electrical circuitry.
Oh my God. I'm playing the Hellmath jingle. I don't even exactly know why, but I just feel like it belongs here.
I don't either, but thank you.
I thought we were going to a place of ultimate pun sadness, but instead, education.
Jenny,
It's the anagram happiness.
Yeah, you have to be like a twig on the shoulders of a mighty stream. You can't anticipate Rishi's puns. You just have to pretend they're not going to happen, so you can just like fall into them when they do. You know?
Would it make you feel better if I said fish sticks, more like fish steaks?
How do do you feel, Jenny?
That
Better?
would not make me feel better at all.
It's a little fish stick that has a tiny little steak.
Yeah, it is. It's a little fish steak.
Okay. All right. If you insist.
Xander, I would like to give yet another shout out to Nicholas Brendan because like he does this whole reenactment with his fish sticks, and it's like funny and silly and whatever, but then he does this little end scene at the end that is just so endearing and cute, and I love.
It was good, and he's making remarkably light of fish sticks as a food, considering that he was like 50% fish but one episode ago.
That's true. Good point.
He's really bounced back from that.
Oh God.
There are also, did you notice, animal crackers on the table? Monkey Pants callback. I think that Willow and Oz have like a regular animal crackers consumption thing going on as part of their relationship fabric.
Stage 1 of dating animal crackers. Stage 2 Pez dispenser.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So Snyder hates public displays of affection. Of course he does. Like flash forward to Snyder high school Snyder in Band Candy. He doesn't like seeing teenagers have affection for each other because he didn't have any affection as a teen and probably as an adult either.
What if Snyder had a girlfriend?
In high school or now?
Yes.
What?
Either. I just feel like...
What's the question?
Not that having a girlfriend is, the end-all, be-all, like a reason for being or whatever, but if somebody could just love Snyder...
Oh, I see how the question is angled now. Yes.
How different could things be? Maybe it's not a question worth asking.
It would probably be helpful.
But then we'd be having less fun.
That's true. Do you want to go to London now? Rishi's been doing actually a British accent for the last few minutes, so I assume we're close.
Did you notice that it is broad daylight in the establishing shot, and also there's sunlight streaming in through the windows? I'm just wondering, how long has Angelus been laying in wait inside this church before right now? Maybe there's a cool thing underneath with the skeletons, which everyone knows is called something that starts with a C. It's a catacomb, of course.
I was like,
maybe there's
D,
some catacombs
dungeon.
down below.
B, basement, cannot get C.
I thought you were talking about something anatomical, and I was like, what? What part?
Wow,
under
Rishi,
the
we
skeleton?
really have just absolutely...
We ruined you.
Yeah. You all have probably heard me talk about how much I love Jones Road Beauty and so many of their products, specifically the Miracle Balm. I've been using both the Miracle Balm and their moisturizer for a long time now. And more than anything, I love that all of their products are actually good for your skin. Every formula that they have is packed with skin-loving ingredients. It nourishes your skin instead of clogging or caking, and it looks and feels natural. So it doesn't look like you're wearing makeup, which is definitely my vibe. I want to also let you know that they have a new product. It's a foundation stick. As you probably have gathered, I am not somebody who uses foundation often, but some days you do need a little bit more coverage. And just like all of their other products, it feels weightless on your skin. It is skincare forward foundation. It's dermatologist tested and it's packed with skin living ingredients. They also have it in 30 shades, so it can match a very wide range of skin tones. If you want makeup that brings out your natural glow instead of hiding it, Jones Road is definitely the way to go. For a limited time, our listeners are getting a free gift on their first purchase when they use code BUFFERING at checkout. Just head to jonesroadbeauty.com and use code BUFFERING at checkout. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you.
Starting or growing your own business can be intimidating and lonely at times. Your to-do list may feel endless with new tasks, and lists can easily begin to overrun your life. So finding the right tool that not only helps you out, but simplifies everything as a built-in business partner can be a game changer. For millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. From household names like Gymshark, Rare Beauty, and Heinz, to brands just getting started. Shopify has hundreds of ready-to-use templates that can help you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand's style. And you can tackle all the important tasks in one place, from inventory to payments to analytics and more. No need to save multiple websites or try to figure out what platform is hosting the tool that you need. And if people haven't heard about your brand, you can get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you, with easy-to-run email and social media campaigns to reach customers wherever they're scrolling or strolling. Start your business today with the industry's best business partner, Shopify, and start hearing. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. That's shopify.com/realm.
I have to say, there are a few better settings for vampires than in the confessional light of a church. This is wonderful, beautiful. He's just drained a fucking priest. And obviously we always sing Juliet Landau's praises because she's simply iconic as Drusilla, but this beat of her as who she was before she was turned is so good. It's so subtle. There's not this massive, she's obviously not Drusilla, but she's Drusilla still. But you can just feel it and see it and hear it, and it's delightful. She just does such a fucking good job with all of it.
Did we already know about her clairvoyance at this point?
Yeah. Via Angel, like sort of confessing to Buffy that he was a very bad vampire back in the day. But this is the first we've really seen Drew from the past.
Yeah, because I didn't realize that she had, psychic powers back pre-vampirism.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and Rishi, we got this amazing email from a listener who posited that Drusilla actually was a potential slayer. That like if not sired or what have you, that like Drusilla was likely a potential given her seeing and all of that other stuff, which we loved.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's like, because I feel like we read Angelus's interest in her, / we have heard about his interest in her being like rooted in both her ability and also her like extreme piety, you know? And he was like, I'm going to get in there and
closed captioning.
Mess that up. Yeah, exactly. And I wonder if either consciously or subconsciously like that, like if that potential theory is, accurate, if there's something there, if that's also a component of what he was interested in, which, side note, we know that Slayer blood has something to it, anecdotally from Spike, that is special and satisfying. Do you think that priest blood or nun blood or even deacon blood is different on the tongue? Does it have a different, bouquet or something?
I don't know about deacons. You know what I mean? You took it.
Okay.
You took it far down the ranking.
Sure. Okay, priests.
Yeah, but like the Pope, like imagine you get Pope blood. Like that shit has to be top of the list of desirables.
Well, if that's what you
vampires.
want to imagine, Kristin, I'm not going to personally imagine drinking.
I'm putting myself in the mindset of a vampire, and like, what better blood apart from a Slayer could you get than unless you were alive in the time of Jesus Christ, I suppose. And
okay.
Well, I'm just going on your scale of piety.
Wow. Yeah, sure. Whoa.
My theory is that priests, nuns, they're exotic, exciting forms of sustenance, but not tasty. The way that some people will approach their eating like it's a challenge. Have you ever eaten this crazy thing?
Right.
It's like,
yes.
Right.
Is it delicious? I don't know, but not a lot of people have had it. It's kind of
right.
There's a little bit of an adrenaline rush in just accomplishing the feat.
Yeah.
Or the neck, wherever you want to start.
Oh boy. Sort of like a
you have your checklist of like things I've tried.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a hot ones, but like holy ones.
Yes,
kind of
exactly, exactly. Because of their proximity and potential consumption of holy water, I think that their insides might be spicier.
Interesting.
Okay. Does anybody drink holy water?
No, they're just near it a bunch. Do people drink holy water?
Drinking holy water is generally permitted.
Really?
Particularly in Eastern Orthodox and Byzantine Catholic traditions.
So like just a little sip? Like communal wine, but holy water?
It's often consumed for blessing, often on an empty stomach with morning prayers. While not forbidden in Western Catholicism, it is not a required practice and should be done with reverence, not superstition.
But even you bring up a good point, Kristin. Even just like the blessed wine.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm reeling from the idea of drinking holy water as someone who went to Catholic school for 12 years. No one ever offered me a sip.
I'm sure you were sprinkled with some.
Yes.
And maybe some priests have a little one for you, one for me.
Yeah.
Approach to their serving.
Before we leave London, I also want to just what was it like to be Liam? What was it like to be Drew? I hate I hate her telling of like her having these visions, and she's telling her mom, because what else are you going to do if you like see that all these men are going to die? And then you tell your mom and she's like, you are evil. You are like the spawn of Satan. It just is an awful, awful thing. And to know that like her whole life was basically like this until Angel killed her entire family and sired her and made her a vampire. No wonder she's Drusilla. Like, she had no other pathway but to become the vampire that she is.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't sound like pre-vamp was a real picnic.
No.
I'd say, wow, okay. And knowing what we know about Spike's history and knowing what we know about Darla, at least immediately preceding her death, they're all having more fun.
They
Well,
are.
I guess.
It's true. It's true.
Timeline-wise, Darla is now dead, but, you know, they are or were all having more fun as vampires. So, you know, if we're just looking at a quality of life kind of thing, without taking into account the countless slaughtered people for their
Sure.
fun and sustenance, congrats to all involved.
All four of you. Great job.
Yeah.
Great job. So Angel, as the priest, is like, hey, you're actually so evil. Just give in to it. And she's like, no, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. And he's like, all right, do an act of contrition and like 10 Hail Marys, and then you'll be fine. Do we know I'm sure we do, and I don't, which is horrible on me because it's my job to know. But like, this is the first time that he is encountering Drusilla. There's some period of time between this and when he's going to sire her, because this is like,
I think he like really invests time in torturing her.
Yeah.
Psychologically.
Yeah.
Whee!
Fun.
Over at Vamp Mansion. I have to say, I feel like they've really nailed this very lived-in group dynamic of the sort of antagonistic brothers. Spike judging Angelus for sleeping in. Angelus smacking him on the back of the head. This is all very good. What's not good? Newspaper headline, mysterious obelisk unearthed. My friends, an obelisk?
It's not.
Has a pyramid on top. I checked.
Isn't an obelisk also not square?
It's supposed to have a bit of a taper to it.
Yeah.
But the peak is really what's grinding my gears, personally.
Interesting.
What do you got? What do you got, Rishi? What do you got?
I'm just thinking about the film 2001, A Space Odyssey, as you may know it.
Yes.
The monolith in that thing, the big black monolith. I've heard that described as an obelisk.
Oh.
Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Also, were either of you readers of the comic book Asterix?
No.
No.
It's a French comic book, Asterix.
I was not.
And this joke will be appreciated by no one. But that's not going to stop me.
Anyway. Yeah.
Or sometimes you see an Obelix with two braids on top.
Okay.
Here, let me send you a picture of Obelix.
Yep. Obelix. So any clarity? Jenny is like furiously Googling.
I mean, according to Wikipedia, an obelisk is a tall, slender, tapered monument with four sides and a pyramidion top.
Pyramidion. Oh, it was
That's
worth
right.
it just for pyramidion.
I know.
Wow. Yeah. So it canonically has to have that little pointy guy. It has to Washington Monument at the top.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
A great way to say it.
Wow.
Drusilla, something terrible. Psst, psst, psst. Oh, I love her. Give her jingle. God damn it.
Drusilla, you fill my heart with dread, and still I'm led right back to you.
I also in my mind, if you ask me about like the timeline and the plans of Angelus and all of it, I always think it's on purpose that Akatha is here. Like I just like, I forget every time.
It just gets dug up right at the time when Angelus, fresh off of I Only Have Eyes for You, can't possibly bear to live on this plane any longer.
Yeah, just happenstance, as it were. So sure.
Soon it'll stop. Soon it'll scream. Trademark Boreanaz's face again.
Honestly, if the Orb of Thessaly was anywhere fucking near Boreanaz in this episode, it would be lit up the entire... His whole episode is dramatic monologue. It's like dramatic, lines, you know?
Yeah.
In Jenny Calendar's classroom, Willow's tutoring Buffy, LaToya had a note on this moment where, you know, the pencil rolls. And if you're watching this for the first time, right, you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then Buffy picks up the pencil, and at least if you're me, you're like, fuck, I thought she was going to find it. And it's just so tasty that she's like, I had deja vu, and does it again, and then actually does find the disc. And LaToya says, regarding Buffy's deja vu, a small moment like this is why good TV rules. We know about Buffy's prophetic dreams. We've had the scenes discussing whether or not certain dreams of hers are prophecies. So at this point, we don't need to have seen any dream or reason why Buffy would feel deja vu here. It can just be and work without being or feeling off in the story. Seconded.
Yeah, it feels right. It feels, you know, like part of her. And in, you know, any other set of circumstances, like a deja vu moment for this discovery could feel very flimsy.
Yeah.
But it works. But it doesn't.
Yeah, I like the idea of a Slayer version of Spidey sense, you know, and it doesn't have to be explained every time. It's just like, oh, there is a sensitivity to certain phenomena or something like that.
When there are many moments when I just write in my notes, Sarah Michelle Gellar's face, Emmy. They happen like at least every other episode. And this is one of them where like they put the disc in, the spell comes up, and Willow's like yammering about, and Buffy's like, Willow. And they realize it's the restoration spell. Her face is just... I don't understand how anybody can do these things with their face. That's why I'm not an actor. You know, that's why I podcast. You can't even fucking see my face.
Willow is like very matter of fact about having gone through most of Miss Calendar's files already and very easily slips this disc into the drive to see what's on it. Given what we know about Miss Calendar's sort of general vibe, do we think this is a safe for work practice?
No. Although, wait a minute. Did people have porn on floppy disks?
Maybe not
if
porn,
the porn's
but
good.
Perhaps.
Now, that's a winner. That's a keeper.
Hard discs only.
10 out of 10.
I think maybe not a video on a disc, floppy or hard, but perhaps some techno-pagan erotica.
Yeah.
Some fanfic that she's been working on.
I'm just like
the
reeling.
Stuffy tweed-clad librarian. Pressed again.
I am like personally like, oh man, how did porn work before? Like obviously video, like VHS.
How did porn work?
How does porn work?
Well, Kristin, there was a special part of the video store behind a beaded curtain.
Literally,
and you had to be
that. Yes.
of age.
But it's like I like obviously knew about you rent this video or you buy this video and then the internet, but I never thought about like computers outside of the internet interfacing with porn, and I'm intrigued to say the least. Moving along.
Well, not. Let me just stay on.
Yeah. No, Rishi, I will not move you along. You can stay right here.
Not on Ms. Calendar's behalf, but have you ever noticed that anytime someone needs tutoring in high school, there's so frequently talk of covalent bonds? No, am I? Anybody?
Now that you're saying it, it feels right.
And I think it's because it's the, most, it's the most fraught, most sexually tense concept in high school, in the high school curriculum. It's like, oh, these two atoms are bonded to each other, and or even just whatever, friendship in the case of these two. But I just feel like covalent bonds come up a lot, and I think they often have like this undercurrent of sexual tension when they're used in other other pop
Wow.
culture instances. Just take it next time.
I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that with me.
To keep that in your
Kristin,
brain.
Look what we've done.
I love it.
Behold our
Honestly,
good works.
Like we've done a podcast for a decade. We've written a book, but my proudest accomplishment is this version of Richie.
Me nominating 2 Adams for Sexual Tension Award. They are forming a covalent bond, and they know why. One Adam asks the other, "Are you really that anxious to come up against that other Adam?"
Yes.
Shall we go to Romania?
Let's do it.
POV Angelus cam. He's got like a headlamp on, but it's a camera. He's like running through the Romanian woods. I have a theory. We talk so much about Immolation Watch. Angel is always near open flame constantly. And I was watching this and I was like, oh my God. The moment that he was cursed, the moment that he like received all of the memories of all of the horrible things he had done with a soul inside of his body, he's next to a raging fire. So maybe that's part of his deal with fire.
Yeah, it's got like a sort of womb/mother's milk kind of association.
He was born right there.
I was like really struck by the construction of this
Of the
fire.
fire?
There are like gigantic logs, and they are ready to go on top of an obelisk, like shape-wise. They are this is very. It feels unreasonably tall, considering that what I imagine is this man's house, which is kind of just in the background. Beyond it is like not that much bigger than the fire itself.
Yeah, it's close to a bonfire. You know, it's getting there.
Yeah.
But I guess for the drama.
And maybe for the hunt, like maybe there's we know that there's a vampire and we're like doing this ritual and everybody's doing their part. Like I imagine these bonfires sort of like throughout their village, maybe.
Yeah, like street lights, but make it 1898.
Yeah.
For the villagers, they're bonfires, but for Angelus, they're malfires.
Hey.
There he is.
Hey.
God, Rishi.
Okay, all right. And that one goes in the other column. Keep trying.
Do y'all want to go to the library and hear a sound clip that I pulled? So Buffy and Willow are like, Giles, look at what we found. Holy shit. And Cordelia is like, hey, this is great. We can curse him again. Like Cordelia is immediately sort of where Buffy and Willow are. Willow thinks she can do the thing. Giles is like, hey, it's really dangerous. And then we hear this.
Hi, for those of you who've just tuned in, everyone here is a crazy person. So this spell might restore Angel's humanity? Well, here's an interesting angle. Who cares?
I care.
Is that right?
Let's not lose our perspective here, Xander.
I'm perspective guy. Angel's a killer.
Xander, it's not that simple.
What? All is forgiven? I can't believe you people.
Xander has a point.
You know, just for once I wish you would support me, and I realize right now that you were, and I'm embarrassed, so I'm gonna get back to the point, which is that Angel needs to die.
Curing Angel seems to have been Jenny's last wish.
Yeah, well, Jenny's dead.
Don't you
Can't you hear what I'm saying?
Xander, stop it! Stop it! What do you want to do? I don't know. What happened to Angel wasn't his fault.
Yeah, but what happened to Miss Calendar is. You can paint this any way you want. But the way I see it is that you want to forget all about Miss Calendar's murder so you can get your boyfriend back.
So, as the historians here, please tell me, for me, this registered as maybe the earliest moment where there's this level of divisiveness within the group, within the Scoobies, where it's not, certainly Xander often has like an opposing viewpoint about something or another, but this felt significant because I feel like this is the first time that they've had such a core disagreement about like what is not just like what is smart or like what is safe, but like what is actually right, and literally at a life or death level of who lives, who dies, whose death is warranted.
Yeah.
This feels like a bigger, heavier kind of divide than they've ever had before.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I mean, it's been building to it. You know, Xander has had this opinion for a while, but he hasn't spoken of it since Jenny Calendar. Like, there hasn't been like a catalyst for it to come out like this since Jenny Calendar died. So now it's just explosive. And it's, you know, it's hard because he has a point. Like there's validity to both sides, and it's not as easy as just being like, what the fuck? What's wrong with Xander? It's like, well, Jenny is dead, and what is the go here? But yeah, I think unless Jenny, there's something that I'm forgetting, I definitely think this is the biggest blowout for the Scoobies.
And like, consider this at the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of like the thoughtfulness of delivery from Xander when, you know, very recently he was comforting Buffy post de-ensoulment. Don't take this the way you're taking it. He's not the same guy you knew. Like, he has the emotional intelligence there and the sort of like logic to be able to separate things. But now we're in a different place where things are continuing to escalate, where Jenny is dead. And her death was used to really take Giles apart. That on the heels of, you know, Willow's fish and all of the nighttime sketches of everyone.
And I think it's a moment that like all of us have had in some form where you have tried to say your opinion on a thing nicely or as nicely as possible, and then the consequences are too big and you have to just say like, this is fucked up, you know, like that's the thing, is that like I think Xander's just done speaking about it as though it's not life or death.
Yeah, I really love this. This is my favorite part of the whole episode. I think the idea extends so far beyond the specifics of the story, and, you know, just the idea of at what point do you have to cut your ties with someone who is destructive, and at what point do you say, okay, forgiveness only goes so far,
right? And
how people who might love someone might have completely different views on where that line gets drawn.
Yeah It's very complicated.
And I think one detail that I love about how complicated it is Giles' reaction to Xander. Because Xander's invoking Jenny Calendar's death as justification for his viewpoint. And yet Giles is like, don't talk about her death in that way.
Yeah.
You'd think that they would be aligned. It's just, that's great.
Or you would think, I mean, we all know that this wouldn't happen because we're all human beings, but it's like, you would at least think that Giles would understand what you're saying, that Xander is as upset as he is because Jenny has been killed. So he's not using this tone for any reason except for his own like love of Giles and love of, you know, all of them. But Giles's spin on it, and who knows how much of like Buffy and his Watcher title and all of that goes into this too, but it's like, it's the last thing she was trying to do. So we have to like honor her that way.
Yeah. And I think also just the flippancy of like using her death as an expedient way to make your point or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's too soon if it's never not too soon for him to hear her being discussed that way. It's really great. It's a really human reaction because it's messy and complicated, like you said.
Yeah. I had in my notes, and maybe it'll come up again at the end because it's sort of about the end, but it ties into your point that up until this point, we've never really seen such a divide or such divisiveness between the Scoobies. You know, as we get to the end of this episode and we see the destruction that was wrought, it's so heavy and it's so serious. And it's a finale, and it reminded me very much of the notes that were hit in Prophecy Girl with the destruction that there's a moment when Willow and Buffy, I think, come upon the sort of like rec room in the school where their friends, people they knew, were playing video games, and there's like blood splattered across the television screen, and it sort of, oh, right, this is real, and this is dark, and this is heavy, and this is like that cranked up, 100-fold, where when we get to the end of the episode, it's like also bigger than it's ever been, and sadder and harder and heavier than it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
A really important seed also gets planted here that I think is worth mentioning, which, setting aside that Rupert Ripper Giles states that this ritual requires a greater knowledge of the black arts than he can claim. Okay, sure. I'll suspend my disbelief, sir.
Yeah.
He then goes on to tell Willow, performing this kind of ritual, channeling such potent magics through yourself, it will open a door you may not be able to close. I wonder if that will come to pass.
No, not in Buffy. Maybe in Charmed. That seems like a storyline for Charmed.
Yeah.
Doug's about to open this fucking non-obelisk, by the way. He's not listening, and it doesn't even fucking matter because Drew comes in and is like, I'm a little hungry for a snack.
It's his first day and also his last day on the job and on Earth.
I hope that lady he had brushing off the dust is enjoying a delicious martini somewhere safe from all of the harm that has befallen Doug.
She transferred.
Yeah. She's over at the Los Angeles Museum now.
Yeah. She's like, don't tell me about where to focus my brushing. You don't even know what this is. You have no idea where this registers on the Mohs scale.
From the parents behind Law & Order comes a mystery the whole family can enjoy. Patrick Picklebottom Everyday Mysteries. Step into the whimsical world of Patrick Picklebottom, a precocious 11-year-old with a love for reading and an uncanny ability to solve mysteries. Inspired by the beloved children's book of the same name, this podcast vividly brings Patrick's tales of deduction and everyday adventures to life as he unravels baffling enigmas and solves clever cases. Patrick Picklebottom Everyday Mysteries is perfect for kids and is just as entertaining for grown-ups who love a good mystery. The whole family can listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
The war is over, and both sides lost. Kingdoms were reduced to cinders, and armies scattered like bones in the dust. Now the survivors claw to what's left of a broken world, praying the darkness chooses someone else tonight. But in the Shadow Dark, the darkness always wins. This is old school adventuring at its most cruel. Your torch ticks down in real time, and when that flame dies, something else rises to finish the job. This is a brutal rules-light nightmare with a story that emerges organically based on the decisions that the characters make. This is what it felt like to play RPGs in the 80s, and man, it is so good to be back. Join the Glass Cannon podcast as we plunge into the Shadow Dark every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/theglasscannon with the podcast version dropping the next day. See what everybody's talking about and join us in the dark.
So they take a Kathla. Now, let me tell you something. Just earlier today, so there are some old, not even pavers. They look like sort of sidewalk cement squares in our like backyard area that we've just sort of lived around for a while, and it's gotten to a point where we're like, okay, we should probably see if we can take these up. And so quite literally just an hour before we sat down to start taping, Avanti and I were like, hey, the baby's asleep, maybe we can see how heavy these things are. And so we dug a little bit around one of them and couldn't budge it. And I was like, hey, what about that thing that jacks up a car? And Avanti was like, oh shit, you're right, we can get that under there. And so we put that under there and we like jacked the thing all the way up so that we could try to push it over. Not that we are like the strongest people in the world, but we're like fairly strong. Could not budge this thing. And so I'm just now taking that knowledge and applying it to the tomb of Akathla. And I don't think there's enough hench vamps, even with their uber strengths, who have moved this fucking thing a millimeter. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, and you've already forgotten that they're not going to be able to get it out the door.
It's true. They have to get it out the window. Probably like pulley system is involved, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Buffy goes to her room and is jump scared by her clotter ring.
Do, do, do,
I know.
Do, do.
And there's a scene here that was in the script but didn't make the final cut of the episode where Buffy's leaving the house and she bumps into Joyce on her way out and a couple of crosses fall out of her bag and they have this conversation about religion. Joyce is like, "What's with the crosses?" And Buffy tells her, "I've been feeling kind of religious lately." And Joyce tells her, "Your father and I were agnostic, but we thought it was important for you to like have the freedom to like make your own choice." And then Buffy says she's like been searching, and then that's kind of like the end of the interaction. I get why it was cut, but I just thought it was interesting because there is so much crossery that like it kind of feels like, oh, it would come up, and then also like in this 2-part episode, like it just feels, you know,
it feels like an important seed. I mean, obviously we still get where we get in the second part of the finale, but it like I love the idea of there being a moment with Joyce in the first part before we get to the big sort of coming out moment that we'll have in the next part. And I'm sure, I mean, like the way that you delivered it, it had like a weight to it, and maybe that's how it would have been played, but I can like imagine it in a way where Buffy is sort of like backpedaling and just making up some shit, right? And that like
totally
that's the vibe. She looks, I love Buffy's look the most when she is just in like her sweatpants and a hoodie. It's my favorite look of hers. And when she goes to the cemetery like ready to patrol, my heart, you know? I love her so much. Maybe not as much as Kendra, but I love her a lot.
You may not love Buffy as much as Kendra loves Buffy, or you may not love Buffy as much as you love Kendra.
As much as Kendra loves Buffy. I spent a minute, I mean, we're really close to season 3, and I had to reflect on the fact that I don't think that we've really given enough attention to the feelings that Buffy and Kendra have for each other. Besides, like, this moment in the woods when Kendra's, like, sneaking up on her and she says, "I saw you walking. I couldn't help myself." Later, I just feel like maybe there's something between Slayers. And how could there not be? You're the only 2 in the world.
A covalent
it's similar
bond,
to like
you
need to. I missed it. I talked over it. What did you say, Rishi?
A covalent bond, if you will.
a co-slalevant.
Shani Shepherd's
I'll
crook.
allow it.
This is what he's done to me, Kristin.
I just like you were saying before, Rishi, with vampires being like, well, I just like kind of need to like taste a priest because I just feel like if you're the only 2 slayers in the world, don't you just like have to know what it's like?
Their enemies to lovers arc is the stuff of legend and television satisfaction. We love to see them together. Like after they become friends, it's just great for, a lot of the same reasons that Buffy and Faith are great, because they are at opposite ends in so many ways. Faith far to the other side of Buffy than Kendra, but you fucking love to see it. They have a warmth that doesn't even feel like they should be able to have it because they've spent so little time together. But I think what does make it feel very real and possible is that shared thing that only they have.
Yeah,
they're the only 2 people living on Earth, and they might be the only 2 people who have shared this ever in the history of the world until next season.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, you could have the inverse bad girls. Like you could have played a lot of
girls.
Good girls. But like, Buffy is the Faith to Kendra. Like Buffy is the Faith to Kendra's Buffy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well said.
Thank you. Also, Buffy, please don't do a Jamaican accent. Thank you.
I hate to say it, but this is the last episode that we're going to get to spend with Kendra. So I thought before that happened, I would properly record the Kendra jingle, which has only previously been performed live. Silk pajama bottoms in the cargo hold. Started training with the Watcher when she was 0 years old. Called to Slayer duty when Buffy died. Just a little. Now she's out with Mr. Pointy to end vampire lives. She's Kendra, the Vampire Slayer. She's Kendra, the Vampire Slayer. She's Kendra, the Vampire Slayer.
This is, we're about to round the bend here to the sound clip we started the episode with. It's a big rock. I just love this show. I can't wait to tell my friends they don't have a rock this big. Spike, I love you. I can't wait to get to the second part of Becoming with Spike. It's good shit.
We're about to make history. And
Are we going to talk about that sentence and how it makes no sense?
Please.
mind reels.
Yeah.
Because history is before.
It already happened. You can't.
It's like,
And then,
by how? What?
so, okay, maybe the idea is that history only...
If a tree falls in the forest.
And no one was
History
there
is
to
a
write a textbook, history book about it.
Yeah.
Did that tree just make history end?
Nobody's recording anything for posterity in demon dimensions. Where we're going, they don't have history, is the vibe.
Yeah, they only have torture. Endless torture. Finals forever.
Also, so how could you be sure? See, if I was Angelus and Spike and Drusilla, I would not feel confident that I would be exempt from torture in another dimension.
Yeah.
You haven't even been there. You don't know.
I didn't see a manual inside of that obelisk. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you didn't translate the text on the outside.
Yeah, you didn't focus in this area over here.
Yeah, I did. It said, vampires, you're cool.
But like, think about the judge, right? Because the judge was like seeking, like heat source seeking humanity. And Angelus, he was like, none to be found. Humanity. But then Spike and Drusilla, he was like, ugh, you guys are fucking, you reek of humanity with the way you love each other. So like, who knows what kind of measurements a cop was taking when he opens his big tornado mouth, you know?
Alfalfa, please.
Alfalfa, yeah. Kendra brought a fucking sword blessed by the knight who first killed Akathla?
And yes, and then that knight's sword is in Akathla already. So later, Buffy and Angel will sword fight with two swords
from
once
the
held
same
by the
knight
knight who slew Akathla.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even think about that sword.
But
I'm always thinking about swords, Kristin.
you genuinely are. Rishi, were you going to say something?
Yeah, sorry, Rishi.
I thought better of it. Can you imagine? I self-edited?
I can't.
I cannot.
Okay, I'll do it then. I'll do it so you know what I edited. I was like, yeah, they're gonna cough swords.
I'm really glad that we got that out of you.
Just know that was one that I deemed not worthy.
Yeah.
Looks like someone's not worthy, and it was that joke.
Someone isn't worthy.
Incredible to get a look at the cutting room floor, Rishi.
Yeah, all those jokes cut with the sword of the first night.
Like you just drop that one right there too. So We get the reveal that Giles has actually had an orb of Thesla this whole time. He's been using it as a paperweight. The magic shop proprietor mentioned that a New Age type bought an orb of Thesla from him recently when Jenny went in to get her own. We imagine this is Giles, ? New Age, but make it tweed.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, Jenny never noticed the orb of... She knew she needed an orb of Thesla. She's been near, possibly on Giles' desk numerous times.
Oh my God, Jennifer.
I was thinking today, did they never, and I'm so sorry to bring this up in front of the children, but did they have sex? Did they get to have sex?
Yes. I feel like you can't date Jenny Calendar for more than like a 4-second span of time without having sex. And that's, I mean, all the respect in the world.
But then remember when she got possessed by the demon that he conjured in his youth? Then they had a period of estrangement, and they really only had like a date to the football game and a date to a monster truck rally. And I don't think that Giles would be like up to fucking after a monster truck rally. It just doesn't really, it seems like it would have the opposite effect.
I don't know. I mean, how long has it been since Giles got to fuck, you know? Like I don't know if I think even monster trucks couldn't keep him away.
I mean, I want them to have enjoyed a covalent bond.
There were lots of events that we probably didn't see.
Yeah,
one thing about Jenny Calendar, full of dates.
Right.
And there it is. And I am going to bet that if you go through the Rishi footage of Buffering the Vampire Slayer,
you think that one's happened before?
That one has happened before.
Oh, yeah,
a repeat offender.
Yeah, second offense. Watch out.
And that's the thing about dates. They come back every year.
Aye.
All right. So Drusilla almost catches Spike not
pacing.
What?
She almost catches him pacing.
Yes, pacing. And
pacing about.
I'm surprised that she hasn't picked up on this. Like, just as a sidebar, it's not super important, but it's just like she sees all of these things, and
she hasn't had like a little vision of Spike up and about.
It just feels like a big enough thing that she might whatever. But the ritual is going to begin. Angel, Angelus, whatever, clearly has mistaken the blood that he's supposed to use in the spell. So he has this like random kid, this poor kid, never, no name, no nothing. Just he's here.
Shirtless guy in khakis.
Shirtless guy in khakis. There was this, you know what? Never mind. Listen, it's just a college story, okay? It's not as good as Koth's swords or whatever the fuck was on Rishi's cutting room floor.
There was a guy with no shirt and khakis, and he used to call Kristin Cash Money.
From across the quad.
Okay.
Okay, so they do... Angel tries to do the fucking... There's nothing better than Angelus failing at something in front of Spike. Nothing. Nothing. It's just delightful. I don't. Does the thing happen there? It doesn't. But
no, he's just about to ascend / become.
Yeah.
And then we are transported back to New York, 1996,
where Rent the musical has just opened on Broadway.
Rent has just opened, and Angel is looking a mess. Rats for dinner, if you can catch them.
I just like. Maybe, listen, if you listen to Becoming Part 1 from 2017, is that where we were in time? Mm-hmm. Let me know if I already went through this wormhole, but I was like, what if I was there when Angel was eating rats? Like, I saw Rent in 1996. So I was in Manhattan in 1996, canonically. We could have crossed paths, is all I'm saying.
It's true.
That's all. Okay, so, also they're definitely on St. Mark's Place, correct?
Right? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
It's like, it must be, like, it's clearly a set. They didn't, like, go to the city to film it, but it looks exactly like St. Mark's.
Yeah, it looks like they're, like, right by, was Kim's underground, like, right there?
Yeah.
I feel like this is the spot. Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of also, I was, like, watching it, I was like, are they? No, they're definitely not on location. But then I was like, do you recall what the New York City set from Eyes Wide Shut looks like?
Oh God, no. I wish I did.
There's like something about it where you can sort of like, you feel like you can almost see the seams a little bit, but it also just feels very, very New York and very right at the same time somehow.
Interesting.
Would always recommend going back and watching Eyes Wide Shut.
Jenny's always trying to get me to watch Eyes Wide Shut again. I just... It just feels.
Oh, no. Come on.
Oh, the password to watch it is Fidelio.
Yes.
As two out of three of us, I think, could consider ourselves New Yorkers, correct? Have you ever said dog me?
Oh, no.
Whistler says dog me to the hot dog vendor. And I just feel like.
Oh, dog me.
Did you think he said dog meat?
I certainly did.
Yeah, I did too.
Because he was like, this is an upgrade from rat meat.
Yeah.
Dog meat.
Dog meat.
No.
He's like, yeah, he was talking about how many other ways there are to feed besides what he's been doing.
Right.
So he goes
go
to
the
this
butcher.
specialist demon vendor and says dog meat.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
I totally missed it. Totally
Yeah, no, I mean,
misunderstood.
I did too. Like, I only knew it because of the captions and then the script.
You're like, I only knew because of all the years I'd spent in 1996 wandering the streets of New York saying dog meat.
I heard people say this on St. Mark's right after I saw Rent, the original cast. Okay. So Whistler, by the way, narrating basically this episode. And he says to Angel, like, listen, I want to show you something, but if we're going to go, we got to go right now.
So they drive from New York City to California in a car with blacked out windows?
What is happening with that car? That car is, I think the message they were trying to convey is that not only is Angel in rough shape, so is his car. But I'm like, that is not a car. That is soot on wheels.
Soot on wheels. 100%.
Well, I just don't know. I get that the concept is keep the sunlight out. But also, you have to be able to see a little bit.
Right.
You have to be able to see a little bit to drive.
Also, it doesn't have to be.
Country.
It doesn't have to be that the car is falling apart. Like, you could black out the windows of any car. It doesn't like.
Well, given his general state, this does look like the right car for him.
Yeah.
Like,
so you're telling me that you both think Angel had a fucking car in Manhattan?
Nobody drives in Manhattan.
He's eating rats in an alley, but he has a car? Like,
could it be Whistler's car that they just get some spray paint and do the windows really quick?
Yeah, or like they took a car from I don't know, but it just. I'm sorry, but Angel does not have a fucking car.
No,
That's
in 1996, everybody knows Liam was talking about public transportation. Even in pre-Giuliani revitalization of the MTA.
Angel took the 6 train. He did not have a car.
He took the 666 train.
Wow.
Okay, yes.
Jenny approved. Jenny approved.
Good, A+. So he drives all the way to Sunnydale. No, he drives all the way to Los Angeles to get a good look at film era Cordelia-esque faux Christy Swanson Buffy.
Yeah.
Lollipop and all.
Yeah.
He rolls up exactly at the moment that she meets her watcher. I guess this is why Whistler needed him on a timeline. And then continues to follow Buffy like he sees her slay her first vampire. Now, you think Merrick and Buffy both are not clocking that car?
Also,
like in
that
the cemetery
version of
with
Angel? Yeah.
Also that. And then she goes home, has a quick exchange with Joyce. Then Joyce and Hank are like fighting. And while Buffy listens to them fight, she's like looking at herself in the mirror, thinking about her power, her destiny, this new information, her family, her place in the world. And she looks like, she doesn't look like how we're kind of used to seeing Buffy a lot of the time. Like we see her low, but we also see her like very like clear-eyed, full hearts can't lose,
Mm-hmm.
And that is not what's going on here. She looks like somebody who needs a friend.
And this, I don't know if you already said the Cordelia overlay. Obviously this is Buffy, the movie Buffy, but it's also very much like we talk a lot about how, and in the show, Buffy talks about how like she was the Cordelia at her old school, and like this is her like call me. Like the whole thing of it is just very much you see how she was, Cordy. And like, think about, like, if you take that and apply it to, like, what Cordelia's going home to, because we know she's got her own shit going on. Like, there's just, I'm glad they're friends. Also,
So Angel,
wait.
oh yeah,
Because both of you, like, I know I should just put this down, but both of you were like, okay, so they drove to Los Angeles. I would just also like to ask the question I wrote. Did he take Angel on a plane to Los Angeles?
Oh, I thought for sure that car had come straight from the rat-eating
It did look like
streets of New York.
It's just a long fucking
way.
drive. Like,
Yeah.
what?
I don't know. Now I can't remember if like puffs of smoke were coming out of the car as he rolled down the window, but that's what it felt like.
That's what it felt like.
It was Pigpen from Peanuts, the car.
Yes.
yes. Okay, yes.
Shout out also to Buffy's orange coat, which I would like to have in my collection of costumes.
It's cute. We also don't even really get confirmation that Whistler went with him. Like, maybe Whistler just gave him a ride to the
That's
airport
true.
because when he comes
That's
back
true.
and he's like, I want to help her, Whistler's like, she must be prettier than the last Slayer. The last Slayer catching strays, as LaToya noted. Just like, hey, who was that girl? And Angel tells Whistler that he wants to learn from him, but he doesn't want to dress like him, which is good.
Fair. I was like, I'm glad he had enough strength back to make that dig.
Yeah.
That was like his last little sputter of energy.
Yeah, it was nice because he seemed so pathetic for that whole stretch. But then you're like, oh no, you got a little pep in your
A
step,
little bit. So guess what?
Someone wasn't worthy.
Spike is so excited. Drusilla is having a complete mess. She hasn't been this upset since the judge exploded. You know, like she's so upset. Drusilla hates nothing more than an Armageddon being dashed. And Angelus is, once again, the most dramatic bitch that has ever lived.
Hurling a vase at the wall. So uncalled for.
We'll have our Armageddon. I want a supercut of just the. Can you call it a supercut if it's just two clips? But we'll have our Armageddon and Buffy in season 3. Like, we'll have our prom. They both know what's
That sounds like
important.
it's just a cut.
A cut. Okay, so wow, the drama ratchets up even higher when Angelus has sent a vampire in an outfit that Spike will actually come to love later in the series. We'll call this the little match girl look for Jenny. Wrapped in a blanket. She just self-immolates? Self-immolation.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Tonight, sundown, at the graveyard. You will come to him. You will come to him or more will die. Tonight his hour is at hand. What's in it for her?
Nothing. She's simply a hench vamp, you know?
Okay.
She's dedicated to the cause, Jenny. Oh, no. Also, the blue coat is over Buffy's lap in this scene, which, like, I, like, immediately was like, like, I just look upon it and feel feelings about what's about to happen.
The main feeling I'm feeling looking at this jacket is that is shark skin. I always think it's like a straight ahead kind of light blue jacket.
Yes.
But it is actually iridescent.
I do that same thing every time too. I picture it as like blue, like a light tweed, like the fabric is tweed or pea coat maybe, but no. It's shiny.
Kendra gives her Mr. Pointy. Huge mistake. You know what? Huge mistake.
I'm sorry. You convince me that Kendra does not have at least 2 other stakes on her person at all fucking times. When Drusilla walks in and she's looking for Mr. Pointy, I'm like, that is bullshit. Kendra is never unprepared.
Yeah, that seemed, I mean, it's not like she's going to the beach or going to be in a situation where absolutely, you know, I don't know. She's not becoming a vegetarian and saying, I never need another steak.
Rishi.
Okay.
You're lucky we're getting close to the end.
Highs and lows. Highs and lows.
But yeah, why would she say, I mean, it's sweet to give Mr. Pointy, but that felt like, I mean, now I know we're here with spoilers, but you're like, well, obviously, if you don't have Mr. Pointy and you're handing off this very important weapon, we all know what's coming.
I just, and like, the thing is, though, like, the way that Kendra is killed, it doesn't have anything to do with her having a stake or not. You know, like the whole thing could play out even if Kendra had a stake in her hand, which is what's so tragic and, I don't know, heart-wrenching about the way that Kendra is killed. So I just feel like they could have still had her have a stake. You know?
I feel like they really didn't treat her abilities fairly.
No, I agree.
This is the most infuriating part of the episode here. I feel like she is shown to be about as good of a fighter as Xander is in this scene.
Yeah.
And
so wrong.
What about her being a slayer and all the other amazing stuff that she can do, you know, even without a stake? I just couldn't believe that like these hench vamps were able to get the better of her. Like she should have been wiping the floor with them.
Yeah, agree.
It has always felt weird that Drusilla is able to perform this act of hypnosis. She goes on to do more hypnosis in the next episode, and then I don't think we ever see her do anything like that again. I feel like I would have an easier time accepting that if maybe it was handled just a little bit differently, and also if Kendra had absolutely mopped the floor with everyone else up to that point. Like Drusilla is old,
right.
She's badass, she has sight, and I guess she has hypnotic ability sometime. And so it makes sense for like, as like a sort of like big boss.
Yes, big boss. Yes.
Right? For her and Kendra to come up against each other and find themselves well matched. And, you know, it goes one way or the other. But just what you said, Rishi, like all of these sort of like third tier.
Yeah.
Like, we just work here, guys.
Yeah.
And gals.
Do you know, are you too familiar with the term, I think, you know, from video games, when something that was once powerful is now suddenly like has its power blunted mysteriously, like just suddenly it's not as powerful? It's called nerfing. To nerf is to like reduce someone's power and effectiveness.
Oh, like turning a real arrow into like a Nerf arrow?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the concept? Okay, cool.
And through this, that's how she gets defeated. They were able to hurt her.
Yeah.
Rishi, Kristin,
what?
Did you even get there?
They were able to hurt her.
Oh.
And that's the theme of Buffy.
Wow, Rishi, Jesus Christ. You know what? I have to respect you, though, because it's true. Like, you used true facts to get where you got. You educated us, and then
you had your little fun, too.
Yeah, and then you had your little fun.
Exactly. Learning can be fun.
Okay, so
that's the only reason I showed up for this one. That's all I had. That's really
sometimes when we get to the end of an episode and you like land something like that, I'm like, has he been thinking about it the whole time? Has he been waiting to stick the landing on that one the whole time? Okay. While this stuff is happening in the library, obviously Angelus and Buffy are fighting.
He has definitely applied one final layer of eyeliner here. He hit the mirror, the vanity mirror, one last time. And since Angelus has been Sephora-ing about as hard as he ever has Sephora'd, I took the liberty of making something special for him and for you.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Angelus.
So we get Angel saying, and you fall for it every single time, because he has obviously baited Buffy out of the library so that this attack could happen. And really, like, I think that there's so many things that hurt about what happens in the library. But when you get to the moment and realize that they actually only came for Giles, like their mission was to get Giles and take Giles with them, because as we'll see in the next part, they want Giles's knowledge base of how to do this ritual. So to know that Xander's arm is broken, Willow is unconscious underneath a very full and very heavy bookshelf, and Kendra was killed. all just to get Giles is that much more insulting. Like if they had a plan to do any of that, it would still be upsetting, but it's just like a side effect of...
Yeah, that's just, like Kendra was just collateral damage for a other plan.
Yes, and then the only other real mention that we get of it in the next part of this, I mean, obviously, like the moment given to Buffy and Kendra is very real and very heart-wrenching. But like, we get Spike saying like, "Oh, Drew didn't even tell me that she bagged a Slayer." It's just very off with everything that we know about Kendra, and it's unfair. And we've talked about it. Folks outside of the buffering verse have talked about it. It's a huge fucking bummer. Justice for Kendra.
It just it's just making me think about like the character deaths across this season. Like we see Buffy die at the end of season 5 intentionally as a sacrifice to save both her sister and the world, right? We see Spike perform an active sacrifice at the end of the series, but we also see Anya die a very sort of fanfareless death in a great battle, but just like very plainly, And we see Tara die from a bullet that wasn't even meant for her.
Joyce.
Oh my God. And we see Joyce just die because life is terrible, because things are bad sometimes. So it is interesting to have this sort of like spectrum. This feels like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel in line with what the character is. And
especially like calling back to when Kendra first entered the scene and we had like read LaToya's note of, you can't put too fine a point on what it was to see a Black Slayer on television. And so to take that and think about the fact that we get Kendra for like 4 episodes. No, 3 episodes?
Yeah.
What's My Line Part 1, Part 2, and then just becoming Part 1. So to think about witnessing, oh my gosh, LaToya's words were like, I had something to dress up as for Halloween, right? Like the death of this character is incidental, which is unfair to the character, but it's also one of the very few Black characters in the universe of Buffy. And the death is collateral, like you said. It's not given weight or importance the way it deserved, and that has extra weight because of the fact that this is a Black Slayer. And apart from the flashbacks that we'll get, going forward, which we'll have other things to say about, we don't, our Slayer for next season, our second Slayer is Faith. So yeah, Buffy's running. She realizes what's going on, and we get, this is iconic. I mean, I think you think of the show, and this is one of the moments you see in your mind's eye of her in this blue coat, slow-mo running, trying to get there in time, which is what always happens. The show is called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She's going to get in there, and she's going to help, and she's going to save no one.
But the thing is, the Close Your Eyes theme starts playing, which prevents her from doing anything good. Alas.
Goddamn score. Blame the person who scored the show.
Watching her feel for a pulse on Kendra is just, it's the fucking worst.
Also, to Sarah Michelle Gellar, Emmy of it all, it's like, you can't just slow anyone down doing this kind of performance and have it be this powerful. Like, this is unbelievable that we get.
I don't know. I'm going to go film myself running down the hallway and slow it down later today. And I think you'll be pleased with the results.
You did jump off that thing like Spike one time, and we put it in slow-mo. You did look pretty cool.
And it was powerful. Yeah. So actually, maybe the slow-mo is helping Sarah.
All right. So we get Whistler taking us out. Let's hear the last sound clip of the show, of the episode.
So what are we, helpless? Puppets? No. The big moments are gonna come. You can't help that. It's what you do afterwards that counts. That's when you find out who you are.
Speaking of who you are, Hrishikesh Hirway. You came, you saw, you conquered. We covalently bonded.
Wow. And I was here. It was so awkward.
It's always such a joy to spend time with you in any setting, especially this one. Thank you so much for talking to us about Buffy today.
Thank you for having me. Kristin, there is such a thing as a trivalent bond.
Just honored to have been asked, you know.
Oh.
That's always what the third Adam says. I don't really understand the bonding of it all, but
Sometimes multiple atoms come together to form a molecule. Sometimes they come together to form a polycule.
Wow.
Okay. No. Yes. That
Wow,
goes in
that
the
got
good
Jenny's
bin.
approval. Wow.
That
great.
goes in the good bin. Where can people find you aside from the New York Times and your various press gets for the beginning and the kickoff of your album cycle? Where can people find you on the internet and beyond?
Oh, they can mostly find me in your text messages saying,
Yes.
Jenny, you're so cool.
Wow. Who, me?
Hey, have you talked to Kristin about hanging out with us?
No, I have not.
I have a website. It's my first name, which is Hrishikesh, Hrishikesh.co. Because I had to make, if the first part was going to be hard, Hrishikesh, then I couldn't just say .com. I was like, let me make the second part also something that has to be explained.
You're not like other boys.
I really wanted it to be Hrishikesh.Hirway, which I know is impossible, but I wanted it anyway.
Someday, I believe, Kristin, you will make that happen.
Yes, I will.
You will get .Hirway as a top level domain, a TLD.
Everyone should listen to Rishi's beautiful new album. And also, hey, you know what you can find at Hrishikesh.co? Tour dates. Wow, tour dates in support of a new album. So exciting. What a thrill. I'll be at one of them, and so should you. Well, enough about him. I'm Jenny Owen Youngs.
I would like
what I
a
mean?
t-shirt that says enough about him. I'm Jenny Owen Youngs. That's an incredible shirt.
Yes. Okay, those are coming. But in the meantime, consider spending time with me in Connecticut and New Hampshire next week when I play in New London, Connecticut and Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Wow, what a time it's going to be. Friend of the pod and sometimes buffering prom DJ Hannah Winkler is going to be opening the show in Portsmouth, so that will be really cool. I think she's going to sing some harmonies with me in Connecticut. That should be a fun weekend next week. And other than that, in person, you can find me on the internet in most places at Jenny Owen Youngs.
In person, you can find her on the internet. Enough about them. Enough about them. I'm Kristin Russo. Hey, I do a lot of really gay stuff. And you know what? I've been doing a lot of really gay stuff for
footage found
a really long time. Hey, in just a couple of days, we're going to be watching The Craft in my queer horror movie club. I've got a little queer book club. I do talks at workplaces, promoting equality and just letting folks know that LGBTQ people exist and are cool and deserve lots of things. You can learn all about all of that at KristinNoeline.com. That's KristinNoeline. And I really don't do anything on social media anymore, but I used to, so you can find the archives at Kristin Noeline.
Buffering the Vampire Slayer is on socials at BufferingCast, and you can always email us. Kristin will read it, and if it's really good, she'll read it to me at hello@bufferingcast.com.
Please support us. We are on Patreon, patreon.com. As you heard at the top of this episode, our patrons get a lot of things, including advance access to tickets to our events. So if you want to join us this October to celebrate 10 years, how do we 10
years of podcasting.
How is it possible that we've been podcasting for 10 years when we're only 13? We started young.
Please, we're 21.
I know.
We were 21 then, and we're 21
now. Yeah, those tickets go live for patrons tomorrow, and then for the general public on Friday. Plus, there's a lot of stuff. We're watching Becoming parts 1 and 2 next week with the whole group. We've got a book club. Jenny does concerts. It's a fun time. Patreon.com/bufferingcast.
After you've joined our Patreon and after you've surveyed the vast array of events and activities available to those within the club, why not read our book? Why not just take in a little bit more of us? We have a beautiful book. It's called Slayers, Every One of Us, and you can read it wherever books get read.
I just enough about him. I'm Jenny Owen Youngs, and why not read our book? Are just two you've gotten two slogans that Don Draper would be proud of in a span of 3 seconds.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow. Well, listen, this episode was produced by Kristin Russo, Jenny Owen Youngs, and God's gift to podcasting, LaToya Ferguson, with support from consultant Mackenzie McDade. And gosh, it was edited by Mac Kellerman. Until next time, woo!
There's a fault line underneath us. Saw it on the news. It's been quiet all these years, but I know what it could do when I look at you. When I look at you. Little fractures in between us, let some darkness through. There's a risk that we both live with, but it's easy to when I look at you. When I look at you. When I look at you, when I look at you, brush the hair back from your face. Every morning when the light breaks and I'm coming to, in the wake of near disaster, I know what I could lose when I look at you. 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 When I look at you.
Rishi, remember when we wrote the world's most beautiful song?
Which time?
I know, right? but this song is the one we just heard is the one I meant.
Oh,
this
that
time.
one. Yes, I remember. I remember it fondly.
There we were in Kittery, Maine.
I have a little trip down memory lane to Kittery, Maine. If you wanted to hear what it sounded like when we first wrote it, and Jenny singing it.
There's a fault line underneath us, saw it on the news. It's been quiet all these years, but I know what it could do when I look at you. 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 Little fractions in between us, let some we both live with, but it's easy to when I look at you. When I look at you. Ooh, when I look at you. When I look at you.
So fun.
Oh, that's so fun.
I love this song.
Do you have Rishi, do you release work tapes or anything like that anywhere?
I did actually share this through a bonus materials archive that is going along with the album. If you come to one of the shows on tour, you'll get this special little postcard. And if you go to the use the QR code on the postcard, it opens up to this secret archive that has that demo and a bunch of other demos and some songs by different people who contributed to the album, including one by our very own Jenny Owen Youngs. It has some links to things that I was reading that helped me get through the album process.
Oh, I love that.
Photos from the recording studio. It's like a little behind the scenes featurette. Yeah, and so if you come to a show, you can get all that.
That's so fun. I love it.
That's cool. I forgot about that work tape, and I'm happy to hear it. It just makes me want to go record a rival version, a la Meatloaf v. Celine Dion. It's all coming back to me now. I'm ready. I'm ready to go to Song War, Rishi.
I'm so relieved that I'm not Meatloaf in this scenario.
No, you get to be Celine.
Woo.
Wow.
I'm king of the world.
Look, we all know there are a lot of celebrity interview podcasts out there, but there's only one, Happy, Sad, Confused. I'm Josh Horowitz, and yeah, I'm the host of the show, so I'm a little biased, but truly Happy, Sad, Confused is the place for nerdy and intimate conversations with all your favorite actors and filmmakers. From Andrew Garfield and Scarlett Johansson to Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino. For over 10 years and over 700 episodes, Happy, Sad, Confused has broken movie and TV news every single week. That's because I ask all the questions I want to know, and more importantly, you want to know. Casting what-ifs, backstage stories, acting pet peeves, and much more. So whether you're into superheroes, prestige TV, or just the coolest actors and directors alive, you're going to learn something in every episode. Listen to Happy, Sad, Confused on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, please, not that music. That music gives me nightmares from my childhood.
Could we get something a little bit lighter, some lighter music here?
Are you a fan of true crime TV shows?
And what about Unsolved Mysteries, the show that jump-started all of our love of true crime?
I'm Ellen Marsh.
And I'm Joey Taranto.
And we host I Think Not, a true crime comedy podcast covering some of the wildest stories from your favorite true crime campy TV shows all the way to Unsolved Mysteries.
Baby, you will laugh, you will cry, you'll think about true crime in a whole new way, and you'll also ask yourself, who gave these people mics?
New episodes of I Think Not are released every Wednesday with bonus episodes out every Thursday on Patreon.
And every Monday, you can listen to our True Crime Rundown, where we go over the top true crime headlines of the week.
So come and join us wherever you listen to your podcasts.